Hello and welcome back to Citizen McCain. It is Wednesday, April 1st. I am very happy to be back with all of you. I have to admit, I'm still like getting my sea legs, getting back into the swing of things, hosting, being in the news cycle. And it is not lost on me that yesterday we ended our show. I'm sorry, Monday we ended our show. Time is a construct. I'm up all night long, all day, still nursing and feeding my baby. So excuse me for getting the days. But we ended the show on Monday with our friend Essie Cup and Miranda talking about how much we love political sex scandals and how we love a good sex scandal and how the weirdest ones we could remember, for me, it was wide stance Larry Craig getting caught in a bathroom soliciting gay sex from a police officer. That was one of my favorites of all time. And woo, do we have a doozy that broke yesterday? I didn't even really believe it when I first saw it, and we all have seen it. And I know you know what we're talking about. We're talking about the scandal with Kristi Noem's husband, which we will definitely get into. But please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have a chance, youtube.com/@CitizenMcCain YouTube. And if you're listening to our podcast and you want to join us on Zoom, you can register to do that at twoway.tv/Megan. And we are definitely going to get to your questions today. We also have an incredible new gossip columnist on today. I love gossip columnists. I always get along with them. I love gossip, and I particularly love political gossip because look what has just happened. And like I said, we're going to get into all of the scandal of everything with Kristi Noem and her husband. Really quickly, just raise your digital hand if you want to ask a question. We'll get into it. I also have a little bit of housekeeping. We got a phone call yesterday. This is very intense news for the show. We got a phone call that my longtime co-host and executive producer, Miranda, has decided that it is time for her to move on from Citizen McCain. She has been doing some soul searching, and she has decided that she, in fact, hates Israel, that she thinks that I can't even do this, that she thinks that Charlie Kirk was, I can't do this. I'm so sorry. This was meant to be an April Fool's joke that did not land. I apologize. We were going to announce she's joining me.
Everybody looks so sad.
We were going to say she was joining Megyn Kelly or
Whitney,
Candace.
You look like you're going to cry. Oh,
I
my
can't
goodness.
do it. Miranda, come on here. April Fool's bitches, that didn't work. I'm so sorry. You started laughing and blew it. I'm sorry. We were going to say Miranda's leaving the show. That's never going to happen. That will
For
never
anybody
happen.
who ever questions Megan's ability
Yes.
to act, there you go. You just saw it. She's
I'm the worst actor.
It's not an actress.
I'm not. Everything comes up on my face. That did not land. I thought I was going to do a much better job.
Our practice
It did
was
land.
much better.
Okay, Ashley. Okay, it did land a little bit. Okay, so
just gone with it. Push through. Let's
I was
try it again.
Okay, I was gonna say, you think the Egyptian planes killed Charlie Kirk? You hate Israel.
I like hosting my own show a little bit too much.
Yes, you've decided that Megyn Kelly and Candace Owens are by far better, superior examples and hosts for people. And again, we're just and that you love Qatar and radical Islam.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that oh yeah, that the Qataris made me an offer I couldn't refuse. The money just got too juicy. Yeah.
Yeah, she's flying to Doha right now to get her.
I'm gonna go buy some land. Yes, in the UAE.
Yeah, just like Tucker. You and Tucker Carlson.
We're gonna be neighbors.
Some land. She's gonna bring Cece and Coco with her to Qatar.
Bring the girls. Yeah,
Cutter, whatever. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a bad April Fool's joke. We tried. We were trying to come up with one, and that's what we
forgot. It was April Fool's until we saw a very interesting tweet about a very, very dear friend of the show. And I reminded Megan, no, what you're reading is not true. It's
you were like, it's April Fool's.
I was like, yeah. Megan, it's April Fool's. That person does not love Israel. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah. So Miranda's not sorry. Miranda's never going anywhere. You can never leave me ever, even if you want to.
Couldn't even pretend to joke about it. It was so funny.
Yeah, I couldn't even joke about it. No one's leaving. We're all in here together.
Too painful.
Yes. Speaking of in here together, it's very hot in here. The building we're in has like somehow turned off their air conditioning. So if I start sweating,
there's always something over there. Yeah.
Oh my God, it really is. Anyway, I love you very much, and
I'm and apparently I'm stealing Corey Lewandowski from Kristi Noem, according to Lee Pulaski in the comments. There's a lot. I'm up to
Miranda left her husband for Corey Lewandowski.
He's in the other room right now because he's off work. He's on hiatus. He's watching a SpongeBob movie, like in bed under the covers. He's like the most unserious man in the entire world. I love him. He's the best.
But like, love that the audience was a little upset. I mean, that makes me feel.
They were very upset. That was so nice. In case that I ever need I need like some cheering up about myself. I'm gonna go rewatch that first 45 seconds of the show. It was so lovely. Oh, you guys
April
have it.
Fools, guys. We shouldn't really do it. Enough crazy shit in the news. Like we said, we're going to get to our guest in a minute, but I have to tell you, we're going to bring up the pictures, Ashley, if we can. So I want to preface by saying, like, I like political sex scandals in the sense that I'm messy. And so Miranda's messy as well.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a darkness to this particular sex scandal. So for people that somehow haven't seen, Kristi Noem, the former National Homeland Security Secretary, is, quote, devastated by these salacious allegations that her husband, Byron Noem, lives a double life where he cross dresses and chats online with fetish models. We have photos right here. According to the Daily Mail, Byron Noem chatted up women from the so-called, I've never heard of this until yesterday, bimboification fetish scene, in which adult performers augment their breasts with massive amounts of saline to achieve a, quote, Barbie doll-like appearance. Citing hundreds of messages purportedly sent by 3 women from the scene, Noem's husband enthusiastically praised their heavily augmented appearance and proclaimed that he coveted, quote, huge, ridiculous boobs. That's his. So sorry. I'm sorry, you guys.
We are not king shaming. Like, full disclosure, like, whatever. Like, okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. He traded selfies with one woman when he pledged to, quote, worship her like a goddess, telling her you turned me into a girl before
What?
asking if she could put on leggings. Okay,
No,
so
if he could put on the leggings.
and he wanted to be a girl. Okay, so one photo is him as a bimbo. We have number 2 and number 3. These are the photos. And then for people that are listening, it's the best way I can describe it is like it's just enormous fake silicone
Do you know
breasts.
Big Ange from Mob Wives? Like,
Yes.
that's what
Rest
it
in
looks
peace, by
like.
the way. I love
Yeah.
Big
Oh
Ange.
God, love Big Ange. But
It,
yes,
it
that's
it's do you remember
it's
that like shop teacher, the Canadian shop teacher that like
yes.
went to
Oh,
class?
yes.
Yeah,
But that was they were trans and they had like the
allegedly. Like that person may not be trans. That person may just be
oh
a
yeah,
weirdo.
it was like confusing.
I
It's
wrote
like
an
if you
article
it's
about
like
it. So
when you're a kid and you put the balloons under your shirt to pretend like you have boobs when you're like a
but
child. It's like
like
that's what it looks like. It's so strange. It's you can buy those I think online to do drag performances when you don't want to go for like when you're not trans and you don't want to do breast augmentation. Um Now,
yeah.
for Kristi Noem to say she had no idea, those things are humongous. Like
I was like, where
like
does he hide them?
like those are
But
the size of a king size pillow. I don't know where you would put those.
so the first thing I want to say is yesterday when we were texting each other and like I was texting other chat chains, like there's obviously a humor to this because it's so ridiculous and
It's
absurd.
absurd, yeah.
Absurd. But there's also for me, like, this is very sad. That man has issues of some kind. If you're doing this, cheating on your wife, which that's a version of cheating, and I'm not trying to kink shame, like you said, because whatever consenting adults do in their private lives, it's very libertarian of us. But like, I really don't care as long as it's safe and consenting, and you guys
There were no
and
children
no one's being
involved, at
hurt.
least so far, which
Yeah,
is like
he's
the
not a
most
pedophile
that's the
that I'm
most
aware
relieving
of.
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So I just want to like put that baseline that we're not saying that like people's sexual proclivities, whatever. I just don't want to be involved. Again, as long as it's safe, legal, and consenting, whatever. Like it's not I don't want to know about it, whatever. But we have talked on this show. We got shit on Monday because we were talking about Kristi Noem's bizarre appearance in front of Congress, where she was asked straight out about her affair with her chief of staff, Corey Lewandowski. Like a congresswoman asked her, "Are you sleeping with Corey Lewandowski?" And she did it with her husband sitting behind her, and she didn't deny it. She said, "I'm not going to like address tabloid trash." And Kristi Noem, one of the things that's so difficult for me is obviously there are really amazing women working in the Trump administration that I think are serious and dress appropriately and present themselves appropriately. Pam Bondi, obviously Tulsi, Caroline Levitt. Like there's a bunch of women that I think are really good representatives for women at high echelons in politics. And I thought Kristi Noem made an absolute spectacle of herself. She spent $200 million dollars of our taxpayer dollars that could have gone to veterans, to teachers who are paying for their students' lunches and school supplies, to getting homeless people off the street, anything to help the people who are working so hard in our country and people in need. $200 million. By the way, one episode of Game of Thrones to make cost 15 million. One episode of Game of Thrones cost $15 million, but a bunch of commercials of Kristi Noem cosplaying as like outdoor Barbie cost $200 million. There should still definitely be an investigation. So she got fired from her job because she was shitty at it. But on top of everything else, she presented herself in a way that I do not find serious. And maybe that's unliberated to talk about another woman's appearance. And again, I've certainly been like fat shamed and whatever. And people are very offended that you and I don't have professional hair and makeup every time we come on here.
Yeah.
But she presented herself in a way that was just like, in my opinion, like very bizarre plastic surgery, cosplaying in different weird outfits that to me was almost like what people do on OnlyFans, like when you're, dressing up like a cop because it's like sexy on Halloween.
Yeah.
Everything about what she did was unserious. And when women, because we know for every 2,000 men that get into a space in Capitol Hill and in the White House, there's one woman. I felt like she was hurting women in politics. I felt like she was hurting everyone. So for her to go on and say, and I don't doubt that her family's devastated, and I feel really bad for their kids because
their kids are the only innocent people in this.
Yes. And I think their family has been through enough. And I feel really bad for her. I feel really bad for her kids. But one thing I will say is, you made your personal life, your affair with Corey Lewandowski, our issue. We are all involved. And again, your husband, because he was standing behind you, and that's the only reason why I knew him as a public figure, he also became a target because of the fact that you made so much of your personal life a spectacle on top of everything else. And then the real problem for me, as well as everything having to do with the salaciousness of this, is that this is a national security issue. This man was doing this on his WhatsApp, which is easily hacked. Any of our adversaries, people in China or Iran, North Korea, people that want to harm our country could have blackmailed him. They could have gotten into his phone. God knows what he's sending to who else. If you want to do these kind of jobs, if you want to be the Secretary of Homeland Security, if you want to work in a cabinet position in the United States of America, you need to be responsible and disciplined in the way that you live your life. And if you can't do it, you do not belong in public office. And that is my problem with this, is that we are having influencers who just want to be famous and be on reality TV in places in the White House instead of serious political people. And again, what people do in their personal life is of no business of mine. But if you want to have a national security role where you're using my taxpayer dollars, $200 million, to make commercials, and then have a private plane where you have a bed in the back, which has been reported that you're using for $73 million, and that your entire staff needs to fly private all the time, and you have God knows how much security and using how much resources, so you can do what? Because the homeland doesn't seem that much safer right now. And at the same time, we're having protesters being shot when they're protesting ICE. Give me a break. So I just think this is all very tragic and very sad. I hope Brian Noem, gets the help that he needs. And I this is the type of thing that can send people to have nervous breakdowns and do God knows what else. So I think we should all just pray for him, because he is a lost person in a lot of different ways, and I feel bad for them. But Kristi Noem, go away. Go away. Leave us alone. Leave this country alone. You have done enough damage. And to all the other women, I'm going to say one last thing because I'm on my soapbox, and then you can say what else. There are women who lead the most disciplined of lives to work in our national security. And I'm talking about people who just have security. My sister-in-law has a national security clearance. I just know, she's very disciplined person who takes the fact that she has a national security clearance extremely seriously. There's people in all levels of the military and government who do not mess around with the fact that there's a lot of people in the world that are trying to harm us, trying to hurt us, trying to plan terror attacks. If you want to have these positions, you have to take it seriously. And Kristi Noem and her husband did not take it seriously and did not respect the access they had and the power they had, and they put all of us at risk. And Kristi Noem, like I said, you and Corey Lewandowski to the left, everyone's over this. Anything else you want to add, since I talked for 20 minutes and I know our guests?
Yes. For me, it's the hypocrisy. Kristi Noem has been very vocally against the LGBTQ community. And for this to be going on in her own home when she claims that she's blindsided, you and I both know through people that we know that she has spoken to privately, she knew.
He tweeted it for whatever. Ryan Gerdusky tweeted.
Ryan Gerdusky, friend of our show, said that
go ahead. Mm-hmm.
They've spoken, and she was telling people her husband is gay months ago. So this is not
In
brand new
meetings.
information in meetings, in bars, in places, at parties. So this is something that people in town knew, and we will get more in depth with this with our guest when we bring her in. But for me, it's the hypocrisy. If you're going to go into the situation rooms and the boardrooms and whatever and advocate for anti-gay legislation and then go home and do gay shit at night, there needs to be accountability. So if this is going on in your own home and you're going to claim you don't know, bullshit. And then you want to further marginalize an already marginalized community, absolutely not. This is unacceptable behavior on all levels. And this just further shows me that these, like you said, are very deeply unserious people who are just in it for themselves to make a bunch of money and don't take any of us as equal or valuable human beings. And I don't think that Brian Noem needs help. I think that he needs to live an authentic life to himself. I feel very, very bad for their adult age children. If I found out that my dad was paying bimbo fetish models $25,000 a session, I would need some help.
Me too.
Because my
Me
whole
too.
world would be falling apart.
Me too.
That's who I want us to be thinking about and praying for, is their children. And
Yeah, that's
I don't
better.
know if their children have children. I don't know if Kristi Noem is a grandmother or not. I don't know her
She
that
is.
well. I would be praying for those people because Brian Noem's an adult and he was ostensibly chatting with consenting adults. Now, whether or not those sex workers were the people who leaked these chats, I'm hearing that may be the form of revenge because they didn't like her immigration policies. I don't know if that's true or not. For me, this scandal feels like a very convenient exit strategy for Kristi, so she can
Mm.
save some face and not have to admit her downfall, because by the time that these photos are surfacing, the writing is already on the wall. She's Princess of the Shield or whatever bullshit job they gave her. So,
It's not real.
yeah, it's not real. And we already knew it was a matter of time for her to be gone. So, these impeachment articles are already in motion. Her political career is done, dead, nail in the hammer. So is this going to a way for her to be the convenient victim, or the South Dakota taxpayers, whatever voters, going to welcome her back and she can still be a local politician? She's not going to need to work anymore. But this, shifts the narrative, and now she can be the tragic wife, and she can run off with Corey Lewandowski and bang in the plane. They can do whatever they want now.
Well, as you just said, there is reporting that there's questions about who leaked this story and why and the timing of it, which brings us to our guest. We are very excited to welcome for the first time on the show, Julie Grace Brufke. I hope I'm saying your last name correctly.
You're wrong. And people usually get it wrong, so I'm impressed.
Yay!
Wonderful.
Good job.
We're so happy to have you on. Julie Grace is a Capitol Hill reporter spilling the tea. You can follow her at Julie Grace B and sources say _news on X and Instagram, sources say news, and on YouTube at sources says news. Excuse me. I'm so excited to have you on. We saw your Twitter and your announcement about your newsletter and everything. I love gossip and I love gossip columns, so I'm so happy to have you on.
I feel like there's no shortage of it on Capitol Hill, and things just keep getting weirder if there's one thing we've learned this week. So yeah, I've been getting all sorts of lit tips. So all the Kristi Noem stuff dropping this week, I was working on and still need to confirm a story about like a Senate candidate's love child. And I'm like, I guess that's on the back burner now. So
ooh, mamacita.
I love that.
Talk to us off the air. Yes.
Weird. So it's
What made you go solo? Because I know you're working at Axios and other places. What made you decide to do your own column and your own thing? I mean, I love it because, again, this is like right up our alley, but it's a big leap to do that. What made you decide to do it?
This is kind of a wild backstory. So back in September 2024, the House Homeland Security Chairman at the time, Mark Green, his wife blamed me for being his mistress, which I definitely was not, but knew the girl. And then she sent out an email being like,
God.
Message to their entire Bible study group being like, oh, this woman at Axios is having an affair with my husband, which made things at work very uncomfortable there. So I ended up at the Daily Beast for a little bit and didn't love it. So quit over there. And I was like, I should do my own thing. I was like, I've got all this lit tea. Somebody should be doing something with it. So
The story.
It's like a crazy story. But I've also been working on a book proposal on sex scandals where I've been sitting down with all these people that have kind of been taken out by scandals. So it's been hopefully eventually gets sold to a publisher soon. But I feel like it's going to be pretty lit.
I love it. And I love, like I said, I love that your new newsletter and I love all the stuff you're doing. So the Daily Beast and Axios' loss is everyone else's gain. So thank you again, and fuck them. God, like whatever. Like, yeah.
Like these days, I feel like it's like watching an episode of Real Housewives, so somebody might as well be covering it that way. And I feel like I'm gonna have some fun with it. Hopefully it spanned out down the line, but I mean, I feel like we're seeing more of it with TMZ around, which I've kind of been like loving their coverage. But yeah, there's all sorts of wild behind the scenes stuff that I'm excited to kind of get out in the light there. Maybe
I want to get to the I want to get to the TMZ stuff in a second because it's really fascinating. They're going to like be focusing a lot more on DC, which again, like there's a lot of reasons why. But this Kristi Noem story, like even people of my life that like do not follow politics were like, what the hell is this? And there's lots of reporting. Like Laura Loomer was saying that on Twitter yesterday that it was like well known that he's gay. Like we said, Ryan Gordusky, our friend, was tweeting that he that she had been saying in meetings that her husband's gay and that's why she's having an affair with Corey Lewandowski. I had not heard this. I don't know if I'm just like not as connected as everyone else is. Is that something you had heard? And
we knew about the affair with Cory, but we did not know that her husband was gay. That was a shock to us yesterday.
The cross-dressing thing I didn't know about, but I did have two guy friends that in recent years had felt that he had come onto them. So I did know that story, which I didn't want to write just to like, so you don't want to just out somebody, you know, but it's right. for the sake of it. I feel like that's an individual's decision to have to come out, but deeply personal. But yeah, I had definitely heard that. But yeah, yesterday's news, definitely a development I had not heard about. So that was wild.
Do you have any reporting on Kristi Noem or her relationship with the White House? I mean, we were just talking about how, like, I just can't stand Kristi Noem. I think she's done a lot of damage to a lot of things. And I think she spent a lot of taxpayers' money on absurd, commercials and things like that. Does she have a political future? Like, is she liked? Is she still like, does Trump still like her? Does anyone on Capitol Hill still like her? Where do you think she goes from here?
I talked to a ton of members every day, and there were frustrations, I feel like, through a lot of this. And I feel like the roaming around in cowboy hats and the outfits, and I feel like it was frustrating a lot of people in Congress. And I know talking to people in the White House and people that worked for her, it was very frustrating for them, where I don't really know where you take it from here. Because it's not like after everything that went down, I can see that being parlayed into like a TV contract or something of those lines down. I mean, figure she'll make money somehow, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how she navigates that.
Reality TV would be really good for her. Like, I genuinely say that. Like, I think she'd make a great housewife. Like, I think she's got, she shot her dog and she has a cross-dressing husband. This is like a country song in and of itself. Like, I mean, it is like, content that we can definitely get to. Speaking of TMZ, like I said, they announced that they are going to have more of a presence on Capitol Hill. I'm happy about this because I think that more politicians should be scared of where their personal lives being reported on, and people should be conducting themselves in a way that's respectable of the offices they're holding. TMZ has been showing a lot of different pictures of different politicians across the country on vacation while TSA workers aren't being paid and the government is still shut down. Our personal favorite is Lindsay Graham, number 7.
Everyone's favorite Disney princess. Yes.
We have some pictures for you and everyone else, yes, of Lindsey Graham at Disneyland for whatever it's worth. There's pictures of him holding a bubble wand, a little girl's bubble wand at the Tangled exhibit.
A little girl's bubble wand, please. You know whose one that is.
A little girl's bubble wand. He did, in fact, ride on Space Mountain. He went to a character breakfast.
Wait a minute. You're showing the rifle.
So this photo of him with the rifle, sorry, that's him on Space Mountain. And then the picture of him with the rifle is the picture he himself posted on social media to show just what a manly, masculine rifle shooting man he is, and that he doesn't. And he was saying that he was also out shooting in South Carolina. I don't think you can do both things at once. Why is this so delicious?
He's magical. Yeah.
Julie Grace, this is all over social
media. Like a wild concept to me in the first place. But like, I know members do like fundraisers and stuff down there all the time. But yeah, the bubble wand is a lot to take in. But like, I mean, I feel like TMZ kind of having all these people sending them stuff these days. It's like everyone can be Ted Cruz in Cancun now. So I was texting with a member yesterday. We were like, I'm a little terrified of it. And I was like, I can see why.
Do you think people are just like loving the Lindsey Graham of it because he's just done so many interviews recently that have been so weird and over the top, where he's like talking about invading Cuba and, he's really like the biggest proponent of the Iran war. Is that part of it? Like, why is this so delicious seeing him and other members of Congress like outing them for doing dumb shit on vacation?
I mean, it's like the memes are so good. like objectively, like all politics aside, like it's just entertaining to see. But I mean, I feel like he was kind of the worst of it from an optics standpoint. But I mean, you had like a Dem holding a Real Housewives party. I think it was Rhode Island. You got, I mean, I thought last I had talked to leadership, they were going to ban Codels, and you got a bunch of members on Codels. So that's also, I feel like, a change of pace of what was supposed to be going down a week ago. But I mean, I guess they're at least doing legit government work.
As you mentioned earlier, you are writing a book on congressional sex scandals. I love that you interviewed Eric Swalwell because I always thought that he slept with a Chinese spy. He's claiming that he doesn't. The DOJ is investigating his ties to Chinese spy Fang Fang. He is speaking out about it and saying that I didn't know that $300,000 of legal payments from his campaign surfaced at the same time. Can I show a clip of your show number 4, speaking with Congressman Eric Swalwell?
Constantly hitting on this whole Fang Fang situation. And you've got voters that are out there. I mean, you talked about the possibility of 2 Republicans being on top of the ticket. I mean, like, do you want to just clear the air on like what happened there and like what the...
Yeah, I would say that the air was cleared immediately by the FBI when there was even a suggestion of wrongdoing. The FBI put out 2 statements to the Wall Street Journal and the San Francisco Chronicle saying, never any wrongdoing. All he did was help us when we identified somebody who might not be who they were presenting themselves as. Then the Washington Post fact checker looked at these allegations, said the same thing as the FBI. And then Kevin McCarthy, who wanted to create a thing and refers it to the ethics committee, his own ethics committee chair puts out a bipartisan, unanimous, decision that they're not investigating. They didn't see any wrongdoing. So I think independent folks have said enough on this. And, for me, defamation is the highest form of flattery.
What do you make of this?
I mean, it's all because he doesn't deny ever sleeping with her, just so that any information was really provided. So, I mean, it's like anytime you open his Twitter, there's a million, like the ratio of people bring up the whole Fang Fang thing is, I was like, somebody just needs to get his side of things out there. But yeah, I don't think it's an issue that's going away for him. I mean, DOJ is now looking into it. It's, that whole thing's a mess. But you'd be amazed by like how many members of Congress I hear situations of like them getting warned about honeypot situations. Like, I won't name names yet because I still need to reach out to their office. But I had a bunch of members telling me they were on a Codel not too long ago where there was a member who tried to bring a Russian honeypot to dinner, saying it was like a Polish woman they met, and somebody started speaking Polish to them and they spoke no Polish. So like, it's amazing. Like, the House of Representatives is a wild place.
Is he, what was his vibe when you asked him about it? Like, was he uncomfortable? Because again, like the fact that, and her name being so easy to say, where it's like, you slept with Fang Fang. Like I remember Lauren Boebert, like screaming that on the congressional floor. Is that like, does he understand it? Like this is an issue that is defining a lot of who he is as a politician.
Well, it's definitely, I mean, I feel like it's definitely a big part of the narrative and makes it easy. It's an easy attack for all of his opponents. And that's a crowded race right now. And I mean, I feel like he was definitely very on message and prepped for that question in advance. But I mean, I think he realizes that this is going to kind of continue to haunt him on the campaign trail.
Yeah. Another one that you interviewed was Dan Crenshaw, who I'm glad you could get him to sit down because he canceled on us 15 minutes before he was supposed to come on this show and made my booker have a heart attack while my lovely booker Kara was at her aunt's funeral. Not that we forgot or are forgetting
never.
that. But,
yep.
Well, and literally
for sure. That
our booker Kara, who we love, she was literally told them, I'm going to be at my aunt's funeral, so if there's please like make sure that there's not any issues of any kind. And then they canceled literally 15 minutes beforehand, and we were panicking. We were like texting all our friends being like, can anybody come on? Or I guess Miranda, it's just us today. And yeah. And then he sent me a long DM after it. I didn't answer it. And I'm not trying to be shitty, but like, dude, come on. And like they said that it was like, he wasn't prepped enough for the topics. You're in Congress. I give interviews where I don't know the topics. And
it wasn't even anything weird. It was like a totally normal softball conversation.
It was like a news of the day. I was like, well, shouldn't he be able to talk about, and again, he lost. And I really liked him back in the day. Like I thought he was like a great up and comer. Obviously I respect his service. He's a Navy SEAL, but shit, he blew up his political career. Do you have anything to say on that before we get to Corey Mills? Sorry.
I mean, that whole primary was wild because you had Ted Cruz coming. I mean, podcast drops later today. I feel like he's got a lot of axes to grind. I feel like Ted Cruz coming out against him. He had a lot of hot takes. He definitely calls him ugly on the pod at one point, which I can't say I wasn't amused by. But yeah, I feel like his own donors. I feel like he's taking aim at Jake Sherman. He's got some hot takes on Pete Davidson. So it's a fiery one. But Yeah. Well, he had the whole SNL thing.
Oh, yes, I forgot that they had like a thing. Yes, I forgot about that.
But yeah, we kind of get into a whole conversation about politicians that have kind of like want to be Instagram famous. And I mean, he kind of got there kind of up and coming of being out there doing podcasting and doing TV stuff. And kind of, he touches a lot on kind of like what the balance should be there and where he thinks things should go in like the new Instagram influencer culture of politics. So yeah, it was an interesting conversation. But that primary, I mean, talking to him even like a week earlier, I don't think anyone thought it was going to be as big of a gap as it was there.
I didn't either. I didn't think he was going to lose the way he did. Also, because I just assume people in Texas, like just being his service alone would be something that would, then I just still don't really understand it. I will certainly listen to your podcast and watch it, but I don't understand how someone like Dan Crenshaw, again, who has like everything going for him in so many ways, can lose like that in the state of Texas. And I really like him. Tucker Carlson's nickname for him is Eye Patch McCain. So he's like kind of my brother from another mother. We should like each other. We should get along. We should be on the simpatico. You blew off my podcast and then like your person was shitty to us. And then you sent me a weird DM and you can't answer
blaming our bereaved booker. It's just gross.
I know. And I'm not, we're going to get off this, but like she was close to her aunt.
Clearly
like,
we're over it.
Sorry. Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm not trying to be whatever. So anyway,
that's wrong.
Scorpios, we clearly don't. We hold a grudge. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, and that's the Cory Mills of it also. For people that don't know, Congressman Cory Mills is accused of, there's like allegations he has slept with prostitutes, among all other bizarre stuff in his personal life, I believe with his wife. Would you illuminate us?
His wife was involved in the hooker stuff? Like they were all in it together?
I actually just got the divorce documents. So he got divorced finalized a couple of weeks ago. But I've talked to a bunch of people he's been romantically involved in, all of which we didn't know about each other. And I mean, there's a restraining order in Florida from one of his ex-girlfriends where he was threatening her with revenge porn. And I mean, just horrifying. Yeah, it's really bad. I know I had talked to a bunch of members before he even gotten elected that were like, during his primary, were like, there's a prostitute problem. He's a pathological liar. So somebody had sent me the photo of him with a prostitute abroad, which I put in my newsletter and tweeted out last week. And yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of members where like, I don't know what Congress would look like if some of these people had to like meet the standards for like a national security clearance under normal circumstances where they'll just get it once they're elected.
Or just like working at a high
level. At one point. Like it's the whole thing's like while he was in Congress. I mean, there's so many wild conflicts in that where it's kind of wild. I mean, Mike Johnson's in such a tough spot with like having a 2-seat majority, but I talked to them after all the Tony Gonzales stuff had blown up too, because I had gotten some of those text messages. And I mean, I feel like they're walking such a tightrope, but at what point it's like, do these people get held accountable? Because
that Tony Gonzales stuff was so bad.
Julie Grace, can you illuminate people who don't know that story about what that is? Tony Gonzales.
That's a dark and tragic one. But Tony Gonzales, Texas rep, he was having an affair with a staffer that I had written a story back in October. This woman had confided in some people who had come to me after. So she tragically died. She self-immolated.
It's horrible.
It's horrifying. And I mean, she and her husband, who she was separated with, have a small child, which I'd spoken to him. And he found text messages on her phone, that he ultimately sent me. But I mean, text messages where it clearly, at least at the beginning of it, clearly coerced her into a relationship. And then he went on a podcast being like, actually, yes, I was having this affair after denying it for months and months and months, where he was accusing the husband of being gay and like saying the husband was extorting him. And it was like, I mean, tragic situation, but like crisis comms 101 of like everything you should not do if you're in that position.
Yeah, and it's really, I don't understand.
She did it like on camera too. It was just really, really bad.
Horrific.
Yeah.
When people like this get into, like, I don't understand how people like this can run for Congress, because the people I know who are interested in politics are like their problem is they're like such church boys and church girls that I'm like, you're boring. Like maybe that's just like the community I'm around. And again, maybe they are boobification or whatever.
Look what happened with the other,
I mean, God knows,
godly couple we talked about at the top of the show. So you never know what's going on at night.
But how could someone who has like a quote prostitute problem that you know about because you're a journalist, how can you run for Congress? I don't understand.
I mean, the egos on some of these people, it's just like, and I think it's just an ego thing.
Trump literally paid a porn actress to be quiet and won the presidency. So, I mean,
All right.
money makes
Fair.
people shut up, you know, enough things can happen.
Well,
Gotta
speaking
check.
of
Yeah.
having affairs, Mark Sanford just announced that he is the former South Carolina governor and congressman, that he is going to be running for the congressional seat in South Carolina vacated by Nancy Mace, who is currently running for governor. Now, we all remember him as hiking the Appalachian Trail at governor, which he was caught claiming he was hiking the Appalachian Trail in 2009 when he completely vanished for an entire week from his staff. Then he did one of my favorite press conferences ever where he was standing talking about how no one can judge him because it was actually a love story between him and his Argentinian mistress that he was visiting in Argentina. Yeah, Maria Belord, I think her name was.
Yeah.
There he right there. He finished the term. He did run for Congress. He won for Congress in South Carolina, and then became a very anti-Trump person in South Carolina and lost. My favorite thing about Mark Sanford is that when Mark Sanford endorsed my dad for president in 2008, his biggest concerns was that my family wasn't religious enough and didn't have Christ in our home enough. So just saying my dad wasn't sleeping with a prostitute in Argentina, or mistress in Argentina, going on the Appalachian Trail, treating on his wife, whatever. Just say it. Just wait. What is it? Just asking questions? Is that what Tucker
Just
Carlson
asking questions. That's what we say
just
now.
asking
Yeah.
questions. What is going on? And then there are allegations recently that he was sleeping with at one point in time with our friend Olivia Newsday, who's literally our friend.
Oh, I forgot about that.
yes.
She's
So-
actually our friend. Yeah.
Literally
Oh
my
my
friend.
goodness, yeah.
So, what do you make of him running, the Olivia Newsday of it all, the all of this, and does he have a chance at winning?
I mean, these days, I feel like in his odds in this climate with Trump disliking, because that's how he lost his primary last time around. I don't know how he pulls that off, but I mean, stranger things have happened. But yeah, I feel like it is always the people that are kind of preachy and then wildly hypocritical about things where it's most jarring when these sex scandals emerge. Because it's funny, like just working on this book proposal, it's like when Democrats have stuff that comes out, I think people don't care as much because it's like less here's what your morals should be than when it's like a super conservative member. But yeah, I feel like sometimes these members, it's like Stockholm syndrome with wanting to be in the spotlight there, which like a third stint in Congress is kind of wild. But I mean, I won't say he was always nothing but nice to me while I was up in Congress. So
he was nice to you. All right.
I'm like a human golden retriever, like most people.
It's just he's in the district that Nancy Mace is vacating is in Low Country, and it's Charleston, so maybe they're a little more liberal there or something, and they'll be like more I don't know, opening of it or welcoming of it. Excuse me. Nancy Mace, drama herself, lots of different things. Talked about her ex-husband and rape allegations against him, and she accused him of filming her naked in their home and things
secret
that are
cameras or something. Yeah.
very
And
dark.
they've got a lot
very
of
intense.
legal exchange. Yeah, it's like she was also tweeting about wanting to outlaw chemtrails yesterday, which I feel like is kind of a wild ride. But yeah, the South Carolina gubernatorial race, I feel like is an interesting one. Their polling numbers, I mean, despite the whole airport meltdown, seem to be all right. Where I don't know if like the name recognition's helping her, but yeah, I know that within the South Carolina delegation, she's definitely not the most popular colleague amongst her peers these days.
What's weird is I still like her. I don't know why, because she seems a little wacky with some of the stuff like tweeting, whatever, but we interviewed her and she was lovely. Like she didn't come off crazy at all for whatever that's worth. Like, I don't know, like maybe we should interview her again, but like, I did like her,
She's
having a message.
articulate.
She's not.
She's fun. She's willing to like kind of put things out there. So
I mean, she graduated the Citadel. Wasn't she like the first woman to do that? I mean, she's not an idiot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'd vote for her. I don't know. I'm not mad at Nancy Mace. I think she's a chill out at the airport like everybody else, but I don't know. Whatever. When
Are you hearing anything wacky about her though? Like, are there is there anything you can give us?
I mean, I feel like there's always oppo being sent on that front, but I mean, I think she lost a lot of people in Congress after the Kevin McCarthy ouster, where I feel like she made some enemies there. I think might be things why so many people up there aren't really rallying behind her there. But yeah, I think the lawsuit thing is definitely messy with her and the ex. I think more will probably emerge on that front.
I got to ask you about one more sex scandal that's taking up a lot of my bandwidth because it's happening in Arizona. And then I want to hear about your reporting for your book. But Kyrsten Sinema, the former senator from Arizona, I had heard this just all candidness. I had heard this before it broke, for whatever it was. Apparently, this is something that was like going around in Phoenix for a very long time that my brother and my sister had told me about. So, Senator Kyrsten Sinema had an affair with one of her former bodyguards, and she's being sued by the former bodyguard's wife, Heather Amell, and she's being sued for breaking up their marriage, which is something that you can do in the state of North Carolina, which is where she's being sued. The complaint by Amell was initially filed in September in a North Carolina court, but gained national attention after her attorney asked to move the case to federal court last week. She claimed that she and Matthew Amell shared a, quote, a good and loving marriage marked by genuine love and affection until Sinema allegedly pursued Matthew, who worked as her bodyguard. There's also a lot of allegations of misuse of her campaign funds for bizarre things like Taylor Swift concerts and champagne. I personally don't appreciate Kyrsten Sinema involving my mother, talking about my mother in some, there's a reporting in the thing saying like, the quote is like, did you ever think you'd drink champagne with Cindy McCain? Keep my mother's name out of your fucking mouth, please. She has nothing to do with that affair. That really pissed me off when that came out. I saw a picture of you and Kyrsten Sinema standing together, Julie Grace. Obviously you knew her a little bit. What do you make of this sex scandal? And it's her career in politics just completely imploded.
I mean, I don't see how she comes back at this point. It's funny because like back in the day when I wore glasses, my hair was shorter. Tourists used to confuse us all the time, even though I'm probably 6 inches taller than her and feel like we look something like.
Yeah, you don't look like her.
I had heard rumors for a long time that there was some weird stuff going on behind the scenes, but that lawsuit was wild. Did you see the video of the event that she was at where somebody else stood up and was like, I was also having an affair with her? Because that was also like, it can always get weird.
It's like a town hall.
That's incredible.
Was it like talked about on Capitol Hill like for a long time?
I feel like it's like back when she was thinking about running for another term, like before Ruben Gallego had gotten in that race, there were definitely some things that were like some talk emerging of personal life stuff that were starting to emerge that weren't ultimately confirmed. But yeah, I mean, I think she kind of pissed off a ton of the Democrats and the Republicans didn't fully trust her. So I feel like there were a lot of knives out there. But yeah, involving your mom in that is absolutely insane.
It came out, I saw these people were tweeting it at me and I was like, what did my mom do? And I was like, oh, nothing. Well, she didn't do anything. She just talked about her. And then it was like, it's among like, feel free to read it, anyone. It's like a whole litany of like stuff that was done. It's just trashy. Everything about this is trashy. And I don't know what's going to happen with that case. I didn't know you could sue someone for having an affair with your husband, but good to know there's a precedent.
You can sue for like elimination of affection.
25,000, yeah.
That is like a thing. And so if she's the cause for the elimination of affection, it's like a marriage clause, whatever. I used to work on a legal show. It's okay.
Oh, thanks for the update on that. Your book on sex scandals, what are the people we haven't covered? Is it easy to report on a sex scandal book? And do you have a favorite, a non-favorite? Like if you're going way back in like, for the past 30, 50 years or more, like there's some really good sex scandals in DC. And do you have a favorite?
There are some wild ones. I mean, so I sat down with Matt Gaetz for a long time. I sat down with Katie Hill, getting some people on the record. I feel like there have been a lot of staffers. I feel like the weirdest one had to have been Van Taylor, the guy that had the affair with the ISIS bride. And there were like some very graphic text messages sent. And she sent me like $300,000. And I was like, somebody had sent the Oppo file to me like when it first happened. I'm like, this is way too weird to be real. But like in reality, like if you're going to try and like take an opponent out, you're not going to make that up. It was like too weird to not be real. Just something I've learned over the years of it's when it comes to Oppo, it can be that weird. I feel like the Trent Franks with the trying to pay his staffers like millions of dollars to be a surrogate, also a weird one. Arizona,
I didn't know that one.
Oh yeah, that one's a doozy. I think he offered his staffer something like $3 million to be his surrogate. But yeah, from my understanding, bird method would have been naturally. So yeah,
Are you?
I feel like when members of Congress have sex scandals, it's never just like affair stuff. It's always the weirdest stuff possible.
Are you having trouble reporting on it?
I feel like a lot of these people have just been willing to talk. I think people would like to get their side of the story of things out, and I think there's a human element to it where it's like, I mean, having been dragged in the middle of somebody else's sex scandal, it's like you kind of realize it's like there's these flash in the pan headlines where there are like real people behind that get impacted. And a lot of the times it isn't even the principals where they end up having the fallout where they're dealing with it. It's staffers and family members. And
I was going to say the Katie Porter scandal was like very sad for her. That was a horrible story.
It was, I mean, she had like an abusive husband involved. I mean, mean, she's married with a baby and seems like she's doing well now. But yeah, it was, I feel like, pretty dark for her at the time. So
Well,
talking to her,
even like Joni Ernst had a terrible thing with her husband, like where I think he was accused of physical abuse. So like our personal lives are always, no one has a perfect personal life.
No,
I'm
it's like
not saying
yeah, it's like a revenge porn situation and trying to get her taken down a few pegs because she was getting too
yeah, it's horrible.
powerful in his mind. It's just awful.
When when you were involved in that sex scandal, which I'm so sorry that happened because like it just sounds so awful to experience. Did you feel like people just were like ostracizing you? I always say it's like you get the stink on you whenever you're involved in like I've certainly had my experience like with media things where people like don't want to hang out with you or talk to you. Like did it feel like ostracizing?
I mean, like 10 out of 10 don't recommend getting sucked into somebody else's sex scandal. Not fun, but I mean, I feel like my friends all knew it wasn't me and knew who the actual woman was. So it was, I mean, and there were a lot of members of Congress that were like willing to go out on a limb to like try and shut down rumors. But it's like, it's a weird feeling to know you're like the center of like half of, I mean, Capitol Hill's such a high school in the way it functions of like, you're the center in everybody's group text. And I think I got like 70 phone calls and within like 24 hours of people asking me about this. So it was like, it was a wild ride. But ironically, I think Matt Gaetz was one of the first people who called me and he was like, we were joking. I was like, I usually date younger. And he was like, me too. But he was like, you should definitely get out ahead of this. He's like, don't wait for work to put out a statement. And in retrospect, I should have listened to all of his advice there. But live and learn, I guess.
Did you decide to leave the place you were working at, or were they like, we can't have someone who's been accused of this working here?
So like, this was 2.5, 3 weeks after this. They brought me in and like prior, like a few weeks earlier, like, oh, you've driven so much traffic. And they were like, well, you're not a great fit at the company anymore. Totally unrelated. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I ended up at the Daily Beast, which wasn't the right fit. And yeah, so now I'm doing my own thing. So I feel like
the Daily Beast is like trash right now. The amount of stuff I have to like, the Daily Beast will call me as sometimes and they're like, we have it's like the stupidest shit that they report. Respectful, because I think it used to be very cool, but like it's not even good gossip. It's like stuff that I say that they regurgitate. I'm like, it's not even like interesting. So, but I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm very happy you're starting your own thing because it's like I said, their loss is my gain. Would you play a little game, Julie Grace, with Miranda and I called "Spill Without Getting Sued"?
Oh, yeah, we love games of this nature.
Yes, love it.
Miranda and I are going to go back and forth, and we're going to do like a little lightning round. And again, only answer what is not going to get you sued and what you're comfortable answering. And I'll even like, Miranda and I can answer if we have anything to add. All right. The first one, who has the biggest gap between their public persona on camera and what they're like off camera of the politicians you've covered?
Ooh. That's tough.
Kind of tough for me too, actually.
Well, I'm like thinking through all the sex scandals. It's like you look through. I feel like it's like you got some of the guys like Scott
sex scandals
who like back in the day. It's like very like family values, and all of a sudden it's like paying for or like pushing for mistresses to have abortions. I feel like it's that probably that category where it's there've been a couple members. I think Tim Murphy back in the day also had a similar situation where.
I'm checking
who was that guy running in Georgia last year or the year before? Yes, the football player.
Oh, he had the whole like fake sheriff situation. That was like a wild. Well, that was also not that he had like additional children. It's like, why don't you just pull the Band-Aid off and like put it all out there at once? It seems worse from a standpoint.
I don't know why everybody doesn't do that. Just live who you are. Who surprises people the most when you meet them in real life?
I feel like Mike Johnson is actually kind of fun behind the scenes. Like I feel like he is like kind of on camera, but like he's got a sneaky good sense of humor and is like kind of more engaging than you'd think from press conferences.
Huh? Really? That does surprise me.
I feel like Al Green. I feel like who I get tacos with him on Tuesdays sometimes. With I feel like a lot of people know from like yelling at State of the Union, but like I feel like very soft spoken and like very interesting character. Like when the cameras are off and just engaging with him one on one, he's kind of much more.
Who is much nicer on TV? They're pretending to be nice, and who is pretending to be nice on TV and is shitty off TV. So like who is nicer than their TV reputation? Like if you see them on TV, you're like, they're mean. And who is pretending to be nice on TV and is an asshole behind the scenes? That may be hard. I only know the answer to that with like TV people. Like I don't really know that.
Yeah, like media people, interviewers. Yeah, for sure.
I think it's like I deal with members all day, so it's like I mean, I feel like a lot of the chairmen, like I feel like you see Jamie Comer who gets like really aggressive on TV about things, and like I feel like he's like super fun when the cameras turn off. And I mean, the other way around, that's I feel like most people are pretty nice to me. I feel like the other way around. I need to
They don't want to
get
get a bad report. Yeah.
I'll think on it and get back to you guys on that though.
Who is the rumor of being the biggest drinker?
Yeah, like a big partier who's out late a lot, and it's not because they're working.
Ooh, they're like all my favorite sources. I feel like I get my best scoops on at happy hour. Let's see. I mean, I feel like a lot of like the really huge party people left back in the day. It's like the Duncan Hunters and Kevin Yoders and that whole crew. I feel like
Kevin
Cash
Yoder.
Patel at the Olympics, kind of.
Kevin Yoder.
Yeah, Cash Patel at the Olympics was like.
For people that don't know, Kevin Yoder got in trouble because he went skinny dipping on a Codell, right? He got like wasted and went skinny dipping, and like it was at the Red Sea. What? Sorry.
It was, I think it was the Sea of Galilee back in the day. I love Kevin Yoder. He cracks me up.
He's a nice man. Yeah.
That's
A little hot on the sauce though. Like we could chill out. Why people get so
like, late night votes when they have votes at 11, it's like half of Congress still like it's
for me, it's Lindsey Graham. I mean, like he
at
is
Disney
like
World with the wand.
No, just like sometimes he's on TV and like to me he seems like he has been out before he came on again. Just allegedly, I don't want Lindsay to sue me either, but like there's sometimes I see him on TV where I'm like, no, I don't know how. I don't. It doesn't seem sober. I don't know. That's my person. And he drinks White Russians for whatever that's worth, which is an interesting drink choice.
That is a very
White Russians.
Who's secretly the funniest person in DC?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's
like that would surprise us.
Okay, you know what? Ann Wagner on the House side, I feel like is sneaky funny. She's always got like good House take, like she's got good hot takes and like observations, very quick on her feet. See.
Ted Cruz is really funny.
I know. I knew you were going to say Ted. Yeah.
He's really.
I'm trying. Mike McCall also really fun and funny. He's got a good sense of humor. I feel like Dave Joyce from Ohio. He's got a great sense of humor. I feel like he's good. One. You know what? Kat Kamek. I feel like it's like her at the Congressional dinner this year. She might be my top pick. Like she's objectively hilarious and like can do that. Like I feel like anytime that they make members of Congress go try and do stand-up comedy, they're objectively not funny, but she was genuinely funny.
What is known as the toughest office to work in and has the highest staff turnover?
Ooh, there are a few of those. I mean, Katie Porter back in the day. I feel like Tony Gonzales' office had like some wild turnover. I like Josh Gotthard. He's had some pretty high. Well, Nancy Mace and Victoria Sparks, I think, was down to like one staffer for a while.
Is she still in office, by the way?
She is. I get a text from a member at a conference at least 1 or 2 times a month where it's like, I don't know what she's yelling about in conference and totally like don't know what she's saying right now, but it seems passionate.
I do like politicians that staffers like warn each other about, like, hey, do not go work for that person.
Yeah, I would say she's on that list for sure.
Katie Porter. Yeah.
That was right there. Yeah, that was definitely an office.
Victoria Sparks too. Like I like her and this is like very like wonky, but I petitioned in front of her committee for the release of my friend Vladimir Kara-Murza, who was in the custody of Vladimir Putin while he's a political prisoner. And she was lovely, but she started crying while we were like when she was speaking afterward. And I said to my sister-in-law, who at the time was working for Kevin McCarthy, I was like, I was so moved by it. She was crying. She was like so emotional. And she was like, Megan, she cries a lot. Like that is not unique to how emotive you were, like whatever. And apparently she's extremely emotional, like you said, and like whatever. But is she not running for office again? Is she out of office?
Like last time around, she was like, I'm retiring. And then she was like, just kidding, I'm not retiring. Which I feel like happened with a few of them last time around, but I think she's running again. She filed.
Okay. Retiring, unretiring. Do you have any good George Santos's stories?
Oh, I kind of love George. I'll be honest.
We do too.
We do too. We love him.
Yeah.
We like right before he was supposed to go to prison, then the date got bumped back, went to Harry Potter World. It was right before I started the Daily Beast and I was going to Florida for a golf trip. And like I will have to show you guys the photo of us on like a water slide, but like he got really pissed at me because I bought one of those Harry Potter wands. And I'm like, okay, like you're out Harry Potter World, like not gonna like a $70 wand, but yeah, every time we went to go on a roller coaster, he's like, Julie Great's got to check your wand again. And I'm like, all right, George, sorry. We went evening gown shopping once too, which was a wild ride. Like when I first met him, he's like, you're a life-size Barbie. I want to put you in a box. I just want to wrap you in cellophane. Who unboxed you? Like anytime I'd see it, I'd be like, who unboxed you? But yeah, no, I've got a lot of good George stories. He's a good time.
He is a good time. My favorite felon.
Same. I feel like it's like the crazy.
That sounds like a reality show. My favorite felon. I would watch that show.
Go ahead, Miranda.
Who's trying way too hard to be cool right now in DC?
Oh God, isn't that half of DC?
Yeah.
Okay, like I know you guys said you like Nancy Mace, but I feel like a lot of like the AI videos and whatnot are like a lot.
Oh God, the bad AI is so embarrassing. It's very cringe. Yeah.
It's not that I like. I don't know. I interviewed her.
We like her. We interviewed her.
Like, yeah, it was nice. If DC were high school, who's the mean girl? Because the Regina George.
It's funny because it's like all middle-aged men that are like that. I feel like leadership race season heats up and everyone's trying to knife each other out, which is like why I love covering it. It's like covering a high school cafeteria. But I mean, like last time around, it's like the Jim Jordan attempt to knife out Steve Scalise was like a wild ride. Where I feel like it's
that was crazy. Yeah.
Turn into like another level of like everyone getting catty and like weird things emerging. I love leadership race season.
Who is the hardest person to cover in the Trump administration?
Let's see, I mean, I cover more of Congress, but I feel like it's like Pentagon stuff. It's like they're not letting most of the mainstream press in there, so I guess that's probably it's like the access is definitely a little more limited than it once was.
Yeah,
that's like the most common fake relatable thing that politicians try to do, and it's just never comes off right.
Okay, I feel like it's like when rich politicians are pretending to be like men of the people and like all of a sudden they're like wearing trucker hats and flannel, but it's like, okay,
Tim Walz.
It's like, what do you do? Like just lean into being a rich person and be like, yeah, I'm the American dream. Like I've never understood this, like all of a sudden, like it's like the clear pivot of like wearing like $3,000 suits to like all of a sudden being in like an Old Navy sweatshirt and like it's like, okay, this just looks so like you look uncomfortable.
There was a candidate who ran for president, I believe in like 2012 or 2014. I can't remember. And he went to the Iowa State Fair wearing like, it was like a $60,000 Rolex. And it was like, you're exposing yourself. Like he was wearing like a normal outfit, like you said, like a trucker hat, whatever. And then his watch was like giving it away. So yeah, you got to be careful with the accessories. Julie Grace, thank you so much for coming on. You can follow her at Julie Grace B and sources say _news on X, on Instagram at Sources Say News, and on YouTube at Sources Say News. Anything else you want to promote? We are really looking forward to listening to your Dan Crenshaw interview that's coming out today. Is that correct?
It's coming out today, and then newsletters drop on Thursday, and it should be a spicy one. I feel like there's been plenty of strange ongoings this week, so excited about that. So we've got our Thursday newsletter that drops around usually between 4 and 6.
So Thursday, Sources Say newsletter.
Sourcessay.news. So yeah, that's where you can find it.
Love that.
I'm really looking forward to that. I love a newsletter. I subscribe to quite a few. So thank you so much, Julie Grace. Come back anytime you want to talk gossip. We love it. Anytime. Thank you very much.
I love it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay. We have one. Well, it's the end of the show, but since I promised, we got to get to some questions, and I'm sorry to go a tiny bit longer. I have to breast pump, so we got to get out of here somewhat soon. But
I have to go get to my other show anyway, so it's fine.
But let's do a few minutes of questions, like we promised. Anybody raising their digital hand, we can go back to the Kristi Noem of it all if you want. Anything else you want to say, comment, criticisms, and maybe none of you want to raise your hand if you're not interested. There's some digital hands?
Got a couple, yeah.
Talk? Okay.
Sure. Let's go to Whitney Myers. I don't think you've ever done a hand up before. Hi,
hello, Whitney Myers.
There might be some background noise. My toddler's
That's fine.
Timing.
No problem. This is a family-friendly show. Thank you so much for coming on. What's your question?
Yeah. Well, I was just curious if you saw the Jen Shaw on-camera interview that's being released.
I saw a clip right before I came in here that she had done an interview with People Magazine, but I haven't seen it yet. Is it good?
I haven't seen it yet either. I just was curious about your thoughts on it.
What did she say in the teaser?
She was saying that jail was like the Real Housewives. That like
she looked like she was having a good time in jail, quite frankly.
Do you think that she should be welcome back? Andy Cohen says he will never have her back on the Housewives, but
Yeah,
Never
I
say
don't think
never.
she'll ever get back on. No way. Like, no way that she's burned too many bridges there. But
Also
she's
stole
still
from
a
old people.
polarizing figure. Like, I still care what she has to say when she, like, about her time in prison. I don't know. I still
I-
care.
I really
How
wanna
old is your
know what-
toddler? Ooh, sorry, how old's your toddler?
He'll be 2 in June.
Oh, well, thanks for watching with your toddler. I love that.
Yeah.
I really want to know what she has to say about like her time with Elizabeth Holmes and then Ghislaine Maxwell, because she's in
Yes.
there with some very interesting people. So for better or worse, I want to hear from Jen Shaw because she's got some perspective that we will like never ever get to experience. And
God forbid.
I don't mean to be gross, but before a couple months ago, I would have said never, ever, ever Jen Shaw. But, something very tragic happened to Mary, and I don't think she will be
Yes.
returning to the show. And
Really?
before I said don't mess with the dynamic, but I don't think Mary's going to come back, at least not for the next season.
Yeah.
So
For people that don't know, her son tragically overdosed and died. It's horrible.
Mary's
So
son
very
died. He
sad.
passed away.
Mhm.
So, for me, like Mary was one of my favorites. She's so funny, and she was the like comic relief and the light, but she was also very dark because there's like a weird cult stuff going on behind the scenes with her, and we never really knew what was going to go on with Mary long term. So, for me, if they want to bring in Jen just to see what happens, my perspective has changed, and I might not be opposed to it. So.
Yeah.
I'm gonna never say never, but don't give her a lot of money for it.
I agree.
Let it
Yeah.
be her community service or something. Maybe. I
Well,
don't know.
is there anything else you want to ask us? Thank you so much for coming on and watching.
Sorry
and
we
watching
scared you so
Child.
bad at the beginning of the show.
Yes.
That was a lot.
Yes.
No, I totally fell for it. I'm just glad you're back, Megan, and congrats. I have 2 older girls and then had a surprise little boy third. So it's
Just like
wild.
me. I love
Yeah.
it.
Honestly.
It's amazing. It's amazing. But it's just like my husband is currently out of the country and he's been gone for 6 days and he'll be gone for a few more. And that late night between about 4:30 to about 9 is everything I've ever done in my life. The experience of it has to go into making sure everyone is fed, teeth brushed, bathed, and to bed. And I feel like a military general where I'm like, dinner, tea. I'm sure you feel the same way. And you're just like, I did not really realize that the third one would be the one where you're like, oh wow, like I only have 2 hands. Like you are actually outnumbered. It's amazing, but that period, everyone's like, how's back to work? I'm like, I'm not feeding 3 kids at 6 o'clock in the evening. So it's much better. It's easier than that. So
hats off to you for being back so soon. And that's this is great. Glad to have you
Thank
back.
you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you. Come back anytime. All right, let's do 1 or 2 more questions. Raise your digital hand. And obviously, please continue subscribing. YouTube.com/@CitizenMcCain YouTube. Anybody else have anything
Yeah,
you
I
want
got
to say
a
to
couple. Hey,
Miranda?
Elena. How's it going, Elena?
Elena,
Yes.
we missed you.
Wait,
How are
wait.
you?
You're here.
Okay.
We got you. We got you.
Elena, we missed
thank you. Thank you. Who's that? I missed you
Megan.
too. I missed you
We
too.
missed you, Elena. How are you?
I moved from
Where'd
Rhode
you move?
Island. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. A little closer to DC and
Yeah.
you, I guess, But I was wondering, I was going to ask you 2 things. I'm going to ask you the sillier one first. Do you know, they were supposed to be making a Rhode Island Housewives.
It's coming out.
It's not out yet though, right?
There's a trailer, but it hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, they
Right.
had like a big premiere party this week. I saw some pictures.
Oh, really? And so
I don't know if
something,
it premiered, but I saw pictures. Yeah.
right? Because I'm dying to see if it's anybody I know. I mean that because Rhode Island's kind of small, so there might be
Sure.
somebody I know there.
All the girls look like
They're
sisters.
holding a
It's crazy.
clamshell in the like
With
photo.
a pearl,
which is
yeah.
so funny.
Very,
Yeah,
it's
I know.
very
Well,
Little
it
Mermaid.
is
Yeah.
it is the Ocean State, so okay, at least they didn't go lobster. That's Maine, So this is actually a more serious question, and I'm hoping that maybe you'll do a show, kind of following this whole Joe Kent thing. Okay. It's just it's so upsetting because I sort of watched the Charlie Kirk. I mean, obviously he's not there, but the other people are on, and they're just so upset that he was going to testify for the defense on this whole conspiracy. I mean, it's really gotten kind of crazy. And I know, that Secretary Gabbard's your friend, and I don't know what she knew. The whole thing is, I think it's kind of him, and just sort of what's real, and why is he doing this? What's his?
So I only met Joe Kent once or twice. I think I might two or three times. I don't really remember. I would not call him a friend at all. Like I said, we just met socially. And I do not speak for anything having to do with Tulsi at all in any way. And she speaks on her own. But his behavior, I think quitting a job in the way that you did, you're looking for attention and you're looking for a spectacle. You're not actually, in my opinion. And again, I want to say, like, I respect his service. He's in the military. He lost his wife very tragically in the military. I respect all veterans. Like, this isn't like obviously, and I respect his service, but that doesn't mean I don't think his politics are insane. And I think the way he left was like looking for personal attention. I think
So unprofessional.
You know how I feel about Israel. We're like the last Zionists on the internet. Like, we're like, Miranda and I are like the last ones. Like, there's nobody, and you, Elena, like there's three of us. But I thought that like his blame of Israel was absurd. I think any conversation about Charlie Kirk in any way, I'm out. Like, I'm sorry. I believe the shooter. I believe what Turning Point believes and what the police and the FBI believes, which is that is his name Tyler Robinson? Is that his name?
Mhm.
He was the actual shooter.
Yes, yeah.
And I think any conspiracy theories related to it, I just think of Erica Kirk and her family and what that could possibly be putting her family through trauma. And I don't think he's a serious person. I think he's looking to be a podcast host. And quite frankly, I don't think he has the talent to do it. Not that like I'm so great either. Like, our podcast is like, we're not in the top 100 or whatever. But
We were for like a week. We did have a couple of good weeks.
we vacillate up and down. How about that? But we're not making Kelly or whatever.
I want to tell you, there's somebody who came up. When you watch YouTube, certain people, I guess because certain people come up and I didn't know about
Your
them. I think
algorithm.
Her name is
Yeah.
Erica Mullen, and she's from Australia. She's
Moran.
terrific. Moran.
Yeah.
You should have her on the show. I mean,
You know what? It's funny you say that. She's booked for a few weeks from now, Elena.
No kidding.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yay.
Funny you should say
Free
that.
promo. Yep, there we go.
I missed you a lot. I said, oh, her and Megan would get along so nice.
I'm actually on a funny text chain with her, and she has a very funny story about Kid Rock that I'm going to make her tell on the show that was making me laugh very hard. But yes.
Oh, that's so great. All right.
Yeah, she's a great host as well. Very popular in Australia. We're happy to see you, Elena. Anything
And
else you want to
I'm
say?
so happy for you. I'm so happy that your baby is such an easy baby, and
so good.
And you look great.
I feel like hell, but thank you very much. I really appreciate it. We're so happy to see you. And go to the Baltimore Aquarium. It's so beautiful.
Okay.
I just took my kids there, and it's gorgeous.
Okay.
Anyway, do we want to do one more, or do you want to say
one
goodbye?
more? Yeah.
Okay,
We'll do
one more, you guys.
Let's say hi to, I think, another first timer, Sean. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Uh-oh. We lost his video feed. Oh, there you are. Hi.
Hi, Sean. How are you? Oh no. You know what? These things are hard. I've
They
messed it
are
up.
hard. I've been on the other side of it, and it's like, what in the world am I
Yeah.
doing? We can't hear him. Ashley,
Sorry, Sean. I think you got to unmute.
I think Ashley's in charge of it. Oh, he's gone.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay, he was unmuted.
Okay.
We couldn't hear him. Sean, if you want to try again in a second, go ahead. Anyone else?
Yeah, let's go talk to Paige. Hi, Paige.
And welcome back.
Thank you.
So happy to see you. You look great.
Thank you.
Have you guys been following what's been going on with Summer House?
I don't watch Summer House, but I
Summer
watch
House either.
Another show you guys don't watch. I try so
But I have
hard.
seen this like Amanda and West, and it's like a big betrayal because
Huge.
Sierra is her friend and
Her best friend.
It's like a
walked her
Scandival
through it.
situation,
It's
right?
a complete Scandival situation, but of Montauk.
Is it though? Because Kyle is like a huge jabroni, and I think West is like nice. So is it a Scandival? Is it like on the same level?
People are saying it is. Like millennial influencers who
Okay.
talk about Bravo, like Jenna Barclay.
Okay.
Tom Sandoval is one of our ungettable guests. by the way, for this show. We have a list of
Tried.
people who will not come on. Spencer Pratt, him. There's a few others.
Tom's people were very nice, though. I will say that.
He was like, Tom's people were like, basically, he's too intimidated to talk to you. And I was like, we don't want to talk about the North Korean nuclear buildup. We want to talk about a scandal. I'm not going to like ask him about geopolitics, but he's still to this day one of those people that I really want to interview like a lot.
And we would be nice to him because Ariana was so mean.
Yeah, Ariana was horrible to me and still is, and blocks me on social media, by the way, even though I didn't do anything. I don't like Ariana. I'm like a Tom fan. I don't care. But I tend to like villains in general. Like I tend to like a villain, which is why I like Amanda on Beverly Hills. And like I like an outlier, and I don't like people pounding on one person. Clearly, given my experience in the world, I don't like a group,
Makes sense.
a mob mentality. But I'm sorry I'm not watching it.
I'm so sorry, Paige. Yes, I will. I really want to watch it, but it's one of those things where now I'm just way too behind to even try to catch up.
You needed to be in early. They all live in the same house in the summer. It's going to be really awkward. And this all happened like not during shooting.
Yeah.
All the good
I
stuff
gotta watch
happens when
it.
they're off camera. Okay, let's try to get Sean again.
Thank you, Paige. Thank you so much, Cory. Do you want to try Sean again?
Yeah, let's try for Sean. He just
I'm gonna
dropped his
try one
camera
more
again.
time.
I think he's got bad reception, and then we might have to.
Sean, if you want to try one more time, we can. Oh, hi.
Let's try.
Oh no.
No, I'm so sorry, Sean. We just can't hear you. Let's try again
If
on Monday.
you raise your hand again on Monday, Sean, we'll make sure we get to you, okay? And
Promise.
maybe message Ashley or Miranda to figure out the audio problems. I'm sorry. We were looking forward to speaking with you. Do you want to do one more question? We have like 4 more minutes.
I don't.
There's no more
Emily.
questions left. Okay.
Oh.
Wait.
Emily just popped her hands up. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, it might be a little windy. I'm outside walking.
We love Emily.
Oh, thank you. I love you guys too. Megan,
Emily has Emily has a skeleton
sorry.
with Easter eggs up.
It's so
I
cute.
do.
I know.
I do. I decorated
Her
for
own
every
heart.
holiday. Yeah, my
Yes.
husband was like, "This isn't staying up all year," and I'm like, "Yeah, it is." I'm like, "It is a permanent change to your life that you need to learn to accept."
The
I love
skeleton
that.
is here now.
Yes,
are
it is
you?
here. Oh, I'm good. During the ice storm, I was legit worried about you, Megan, because I'm like, Arizona cannot handle this. Like, I literally thought to myself, Megan will want to move back to Arizona.
We talked
I
about
was-
it. I was
looking
this
at-
close to getting her. to
I
move.
was looking at real estate when that happened. For people that don't know, there was a literal, they called it like, I didn't even know this existed. There was ice cement because it like
Ice,
snowed
yeah.
and then rained and snowed. So the ice was like, it was literally like giant blocks of ice. We could not get our cars out.
Yeah.
The kids couldn't go to school. We tried to take them out and we like tried to walk to a restaurant that's right down the street and like we're slipping and sliding and couldn't make it. I was also like super, like it was like just after Ransom was born.
Yeah.
I was like, I literally was like, I am Jennifer Jason Leigh in The Hateful Eight. Like I am covered in bare skins and my face is bloody and I'm having a meltdown. And I remember telling Ben, I was like, you have to go out and try and get our car out. And Ben was outside with like an ice pick and a hard metal shovel, like for a half hour in the freezing cold trying to get our car out and he couldn't do it. And he came back in and he was like, I can't do it. And in fairness, no one else could either because it was just like giant
all over
cement.
the city.
yeah.
Nobody could do it. Like,
It was
people are out
hard.
there
It
with
was
like
awful.
blow torches exploding their cars because it's like
Yeah.
it's insane. It was insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was, I was
horrible.
like, Megan, I was like, this is not for Arizona. Like, I've experienced plenty of
It's
ice
not for
storms.
anyone. That's not
But
that's not a
also-
way to live.
No.
After Christmas break, the kids didn't have school for like, I want to say it was like 3
Yeah.
weeks. And I was like, I have no more activities. I have no more crafts. I have no more. We have our neighbor of all things gave us they have a grown kid and they gave us their like inflatable bounce house that
Oh
we
my
put in our
God.
basement.
Yes.
And I was literally like, get in the bounce house, go back in the bounce house, jump in the bounce house right now. But it was horrible.
Yeah.
Like stock up on food. I never
Yeah.
want to experience that again. It was awful. We couldn't
You
go
probably
anywhere.
will.
It's like the early days of COVID again. It's like horrible flashbacks.
It felt like COVID. It felt like COVID.
Yeah, I
and it was
don't
just
think
like,
I had
Yeah,
a
I couldn't
3.5-year-old in the early days of COVID. I never want to go back. I can't.
No.
I can't do it. Can't.
And
do it.
everyone's going stir crazy and like,
Yeah.
the trash. Also, the other thing, like the trash couldn't get picked up because they like trash
Yes.
people couldn't. So we had like all this trash everywhere. It was like I was like, we look
Yeah.
so gross. Like all our trash
It was
bags
wild.
out in our yard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm with you.
where I live, our trash compactor froze.
God.
It was wild. And it will
Let me
probably
tell you,
happen
though,
again.
It might have been really entertaining content for this show, though, if it ever happens again, because I would have made you do it from the house. Like, even if I couldn't get in here, I would have been like, fuck it, we're doing it from the house. And it was,
Yeah.
I was like spiraling. I was like, I
Like,
can't.
how many snowmen did you have to build?
You couldn't because it was
You
ice.
can't.
And
Oh,
the
it was
girls
just
were
ice?
out in the yard and they were like, they have their little like sled and they were just sliding all over it. And then I was worried they were going to like,
Crack
hit their heads
open. Yeah.
and
sure.
something. And I
Yeah.
was just like, this is
Yeah.
because you couldn't even play in the snow. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I kept
horrific.
putting on my Instagram that I was Kurt Russell in the thing. And that
was so funny.
Because I was like, this is me. I'm Kurt Russell. And he has this video where he's like, everybody's very tired and we're turning on each other. And everybody,
That's
we don't know
exactly
what's
what it
real.
is.
That's what I felt like.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah.
Worst
so I put
experience.
I'm
I'm not
really
doing that
bad.
again. If it happens, I don't care. I'll blowtorch the neighborhood. It's over with right now.
Yeah. What you need to do is you need to buy salt like when it's on sale right now and stock up.
But Ben kept salting
that's what I've
everything and it
done.
didn't matter. It was like we were salting it and then it would find out.
It was like 13 inches of ice, Emily. You can't, there's not enough salt.
Yeah. No, like you can, like they say what you need to do it before, but that sometimes doesn't even work when it gets so cold.
People were also they were paying like door dashers to like remove the ice with like drills, and then people were putting like chairs and cones in their parking spots, but then people were moving the cones to steal them, and like some of our neighbors out in the street got in like a huge fight because they were like going in their parking spot. It was like
mass pandemonium.
Crazy. Yes, and I was like everyone.
Lawlessness. Oh my God.
Holy shit.
I'm glad I
never
live
seen
in
that.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
People know how to treat each other right. We don't do that stuff.
Yeah, my car was frozen in my driveway for like a month.
Oof.
But what was crazy is like the school before the schools opened, then delivery started again. Like we could get and I was just like, wait, we like had a pizza delivery and I like tipped him like 300% because I was just like, you're out in this.
I would have done the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to go. We're like way over, but Emily, it's nice to see you. Thank you.
Yes, you too.
Lots of stuff to get to because there's some alien news. We just didn't have time.
Yes.
Oh, Emily and I were going deep on the Bigfoot and portals and national parks last night.
There's a legit
a lot.
Bigfoot sighting. We are going to get into that. And then there's a bunch of politicians who say that there's alien, including Matt Gaetz, that said that there are alien breeders right now, aliens who are breeding with humans here. We're
alien human hybrids.
We're getting into a deep dive on that next week.
And that general that's in charge of the UFO program is still missing.
Yep. We are really good. I promise you, we're just as interested in you are, and we're going to get into it next week. We just didn't have time today. Thank you all for watching. We went way long. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.
Bye.